Feck Off Friday. We are so excited to have Jennifer Hawkins with us today, guys. We are going to be talking nutrition challenge, and some tips and tricks to get your nutrition right on track so that we can prevent cancer. You're back. Jim, you're on mute.
Not anymore.
All right.
All
I'm gonna
right,
let
Feck
you take
Off
the lead
Friday.
as I go share this out.
Let's go. All right, welcome everybody. Feck Off Friday is going to be a good one today. We're right in the middle of the nutrition month, and we're running our own challenge. We have Jennifer Hawkins here. I'm not seeing her right now, but that doesn't mean. Oh, there we are. Okay, hi Jennifer. Nice to have you. You're on mute also. Justin, you're on mute, just so you know.
There we go.
Okay.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hello.
Welcome, Justin. All right, so we're gonna jump right into this. We're gonna focus on nutrition. Like I said, it's Nutrition Month. We have our nutrition challenge going. We're gonna ask Jennifer a whole lot about how to help people with their nutrition and what it does for them, and how to kind of adjust how you feel based off of what you eat. And that's really the biggest thing. So, Jennifer, tell us a little bit about what you got going up in Oklahoma.
Well, we have a Hawkeye Wellness and Hawkeye Nutrition, Hawkeye Consulting. We kind of have a multitude of things that we do. We are patient oriented. We're patient focused 100%. I started this journey as a patient, so that's why we decided that's the most important part of the journey is the patient. And we try to consult with everything from holistic nutrition. We specialize in removing people or helping people get off of pharmaceuticals and onto a more natural health journey. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. And we try to help them on their health journey non-pharmaceutically. So
that's a beautiful thing. And that leads me to a quick story I want to let everybody know. It's a real Feck Off moment. My assistant, Lisa, which a lot of people know, she had a little fender bender last night. Somebody ran into her, actually ran into a car in front of her and then ran into her, but it wasn't a huge impact, but she felt a little nauseous. Neck was a little stiff. So she went to the local neighborhood, to get checked out. And they didn't even do an x-ray or anything. They just said they gave her 3 pharmaceutical options. And that was it. They didn't even know what was wrong with her. They just said, here's 3 different pharmaceuticals that we recommend. You could get all 3 of them or whatever. And because they knew she had insurance, and that's basically what the world's all about. But so Feck Off that's exactly why we're running this program on Fridays, Feck Off Friday, because that is worth a Feck Off. You know what I mean? I mean, what the hell are they thinking? There's so many options, right, Jennifer? I mean,
yes, absolutely.
She came by and got a little CBD Fecco that I had. And that's what she's doing instead.
Yeah.
Instead of
absolutely.
3 different pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
So, So tell us about what you've gone through and what got you into your journey, is because it's real similar to what most people that have a passion end up because of a personal experience.
Well, about 7 years ago, I found myself a little over 300 pounds. I was on 21 daily meds, pharmaceutical meds, multiple infusions monthly. I took 3 daily injections on top of all of those oral meds. And I was I had a severe liver disease. They kept telling me it was because I was obese. So couldn't lose weight. The medication kept weirdly making me gain weight. I wasn't even consuming food at all a lot of the time. And I would just gain weight. A lot of steroids. There was a lot of steroids. So I finally got a diagnosis of NASH, which is basically it's non-alcoholic cirrhosis, medication induced.
Which has got to be the worst kind of cirrhosis. You don't even get to enjoy the alcohol.
No, there was no, you're right. There was no party before the cirrhosis. It was
right.
Yep. So, I found myself laying on a table. There were 7 specialists around me, endocrinologists, surgeons. They had drawn my liver. They estimated weighed about 14 pounds at that time.
Damn.
And it was 20 times its size. So 20 times its size. There was no more room in my body cavity for the liver. So they were going to remove a quarter of it. That was the solution.
That was their solution.
100% their solution. And this was before I was on a holistic journey. I've been a nutritionist for a lot of years, since the 1990s. So but not the medication part of it. Well, I asked them if it's medication induced, because it was on my chart, medication induced cirrhosis, can we look at reducing some medication? Would that reduce the
I was like,
inflammation?
duh.
I mean, I literally felt like the dumbest woman in the room. Okay.
Probably
And I was
right before you
treated-
tell them to feck off, right? I
Yes.
mean,
Treated
God.
like the dumbest woman in the room. And I could not wrap my head around, they were going to admit me then. I was having surgery the following morning. I stood up,
to
gathered my
cut a third
things.
of your liver out.
Yes. Gathered my things, walked out of that. It was a specialty clinic, an endocrinology specialty clinic, because I was such a rare case. Nobody could really figure out what to do with me. So walked out of there, decided there had to be a better way. I knew there was a better way. God was leading me in a completely different way. And I left there. Wasn't very long till I ended up in Colorado studying with some pharmacists about cannabis and how to get off of medication. That I didn't understand how cannabis was going to heal me. I thought I was going to be able to get off some of these medications. My first goal was to get off of blood pressure medication. And that was the first one that I came off of, actually. That one, and then insulin was the second. But I did it with very low dose cannabis, hemp protein, high doses of CBD hemp protein and curcumin, and low dose THC.
Wow.
And it took me 18 months, but in 18 months, I had came off of all except one pharmaceutical.
Wow.
Still to this day, maintaining that level. I'm actually on 2 pharmaceuticals now, an anticoagulant. I have a mitral valve that is a titanium valve. It's a metal valve. And I'll have to be on an anticoagulant for that. Nature has a lot of anticoagulants, but they're not really regulated in a way that I need it to be.
Right.
So,
no, I hear you.
so
Sometimes,
anyway,
you know what? There's a time and place for pharmaceuticals.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
not everything.
No,
Not
no.
everything.
And I'm able to manage the dosing by my natural products, because natural products affect your coagulation. So I can keep it on the lowest dose possible. And I literally some days can miss doses because my blood is good. I get blood tests often, things like that. And then I'm in menopause, so I have a low dose hormone. That's it. That's all pharmaceuticals that I'm taking.
If you froze up there a little bit. Okay. Well, okay, you're back. Okay. Yeah.
Better? Okay.
Yeah.
A few months ago, I had a bioresonance scan. I had one a year ago. It showed something that I was a little concerned about, but kind of ignored. I got busy working on other people and other things. Had one in August, and it showed basically that I had a pretty large mass in my uterus. Rescanned in December. I found out in December what was causing the mass, and it was a virus. It was HPV virus, and it was the same virus that had caused the cancer that I had beat in 2007. I had cervical cancer caused by HPV, but the virus still existed in my body. Nobody told me that I could.
Which is really common, right? That's the thing about treating the root.
Common.
Yeah, treating the root cause is a huge part about it.
Yes, and I could have been treating that since 2007 and never developed into the mass that I have encountered now. We actually in December found there were 3 possible masses: kidney, bladder, and in my uterus. Went on a hard and heavy. My husband and I both went on a hard and heavy detox. High doses of FECO. That was really the game changer. In detoxing's hard. Detoxing's painful. It's not any fun. I mean, if anyone's ever detoxed off of alcohol, sugar is as bad. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it is,
or worse. It's worse. It's worse than cocaine.
Yeah,
I can vouch for that.
And it lasts a lot longer. Well, that's what I said. Detoxing off of meth was not as hard as sugar. Cigarettes was easier for me than sugar.
Yeah. You know why? Because they used to have to go look for meth. Sugar's everywhere. You don't have to look for anywhere. It's where you would least expect it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So we're not talking. We're talking added sugars, right?
Oh yeah, 100% added sugars. Yes, processed sugars, processed sugars.
Exactly.
I completely, the only thing that cancer cells feed on is sugar, glucose. That's it.
And methionine.
Yes. Yeah. You feed them that, they're going to live long, happy, prosperous lives.
A great
If you
feck off
deplete that,
moment is when you go to the hospital and you're getting chemo. For dinner, they give you an option: salmon or chicken.
Yeah.
And then they feed you cake for dessert. And you're going
Yeah.
through chemo, and the thing you should cut out is methionine and sugar.
Yes.
Methionine is as bad as sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they could give you other options.
I follow a lot of cancer groups, so a lot of people will post their chemo days, you know, when they're on their chemo and they're like, you know, day 7 or day 75 or whatever. And something that I've noticed is because they have dry mouth so bad that they bring them hard candy, sugar.
Oh my God, sugar candy.
Yeah, Jolly
Yeah.
Ranchers. I mean, not sugar-free hard candy. I'm talking like,
No, you're talking,
you know, so I'm
candy.
just like, wow.
You're talking
wow,
like,
you know?
yeah, talking like a piece of sugar, a little mint full of
Yes.
processed sugar.
Yeah, and eating multiple. They're all day. They can't eat. They're having to
You know why? You know
Yeah.
why? Because sugar is like crack. You
Yep.
do one, your mouth it's like drinking,
Yes.
you know, lemonade. You know, you want
It's
to
like
drink more of that
chapstick.
stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
like
chapstick. Exactly. Yeah, you think chapstick? It's like cigarettes.
Yep.
You'd smoke
Oh,
one
yeah.
cigarette, you want another one.
Yeah.
It's called addiction. Yeah,
Yes.
so
Absolutely.
it doesn't take much to do it. And
No.
I'm an addict. I used to tell my friend that I had ADD, and she said, "You have ADDICT, is what you have." so I use that one quite a bit, you know. And by the way, Cassandra, feck off. So yeah, so we have a challenge going this month, and it's pretty exciting. It is Nutrition Month. I didn't even know it until we started the challenge, but it's basically you sign up on cancerplaybook.org, and when you become, you get a entry survey. So basically, we're getting a baseline evaluation of kind of where your nutrition is. You know, it's like, how much processed food do you eat? How much? And everybody knows what processed food is. It's like bacon, sausage, McDonald's hamburgers, anything
that
package.
has to have something done. Anything that has to have something done to it.
Yeah,
to put them in a package.
It's not,
yes.
and unprocessed foods are vegetables that you can buy at a organic, like a Whole Foods or something like that, and real meat. You can buy a piece of sustainable meat from a farmer locally, and now you got a good piece of meat.
Yep.
And you don't need to eat. You don't have to eat the whole damn piece either. Yep. You really don't. You should eat all the salad, you know, but don't eat all the freaking meat. You don't need that. And so yeah, the challenge is going pretty well. Honestly, I started even doing a little diary of what I'm eating, and I've made some notes. And it's I was going to talk to you about that. We really need to create a platform where people can diary their nutrition, because it tells you so much. But so basically, we have one. It's called the patient reported outcome. Mm-hmm. And hey, Justin, why don't you come in and talk about patient reported outcomes with Jennifer and find out how we can get more data points and help people out.
Yes. So patient reported outcomes are just what they sound like. Patients are sharing what they're doing and what their health outcomes are from whatever conventional integrative interventions they're using, including diet, supplements, and of course FECO. So all those are captured depending on what patients are sharing. And I guess the first question I have for you are, what would be the most important questions to ask cancer patients about their nutritional changes when they're first getting started?
Probably appetite is going to be pretty key. I know that appetite is going to change daily, and kind of what affects their appetite, whether if they are on pharmaceutical, if they're going through chemo, radiation, or that types of things. I feel like appetite is going to be a huge factor, and what causes that loss or increase of, you know, I think a lot of things that we can do can increase the appetite. So that's important to know kind of what is affecting them.
That's a great call, Jennifer. We didn't even think about that. It's really because you forget about how that appetite is a thing. And some doctors say, hey, just eat whatever you can.
Yeah.
Just eat whatever you can. That's
feck
off stuff right there, man. What the hell?
Yes.
You know, because you can make food that's bland taste pretty good with certain spices, and then certain spices are really good for you.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah. I've even seen doctors, you know, recommending if all they will eat is ice cream, then give them ice cream. That's not.
Oh my God. And one thing we can do, Jennifer, is one thing we can do is get type of ice cream that they can eat that is sugar free. You know,
Well, yeah,
it's really,
and you can blend two. There's actually a machine at Walmart called a creamer that you can blend two fruits together and put it in the freezer, and you have
wow,
ice cream.
yeah,
You have a
ice cream.
creamy version with no dairy, no sugar. You can put honey and you can add yogurt to it. There's all kinds of things you can do, but yeah, it takes work and it's not convenient always.
Right,
But
you
it's
can't buy it
important.
you can't buy it at 7-Eleven. So what about making
Yeah.
ice cream with almond milk?
Oh yes, for sure. As long as you don't
I,
have an almond intolerance,
yeah, I love
Same thing with
almonds.
oats. Yep, oat milk. We
Yeah,
have some patients that can't have oats that choose the almond over the oat milk, but I think whatever you're tolerating is we don't need to have milk to survive. We were never meant as a human race to have milk beyond the age
yeah,
of weaning.
it's like
We're the only animal on earth that drinks milk past the weaning stage.
and plus from another animal. We're the only one
Yeah.
that drinks milk from another
Yes.
animal. How
Yeah.
about that? It's like
Yes.
what my mentor Jack calls it is cow pus.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yep.
it's like
Mhm.
you know, Jesus, yeah.
Yep.
So if you're drinking milk, quit. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it is not
Yes.
good for you, man. And really, honestly, I can say this because I hate cheese, man. I do not eat any cheese at all. I'm a very rare animal. My daughter has somehow bought into the Jim no cheese deal, but it's really honestly nobody ever talks about that. Really, cheese is not very healthy for you.
That's terrible. It's terrible.
It's
There are some cheeses that are great cream, like the full cream.
better than others.
We don't have those. They have those in LA and New York and
Yeah.
Oklahoma. We're not really finding those kind of cheeses here.
If it comes out of a cow, you got the cow cheese, right? I mean,
Yep.
you got the real stuff. And really, what
Yes.
cheese is, folks, is bad milk. So you take milk that you should not be drinking anyway, and then you let it get bad. You let it mold a little bit and form into some form that you can cut a chunk off and put it on your head if you're from Wisconsin. So yeah. So Justin, get back involved on this. This appetite's a really big thing. So what else, Jennifer?
So probably, a lot of times there'll be a lot of oral pain, thrush, things like that with not just cancer patients, but a lot of, and I think that has just texture preferences is huge whenever you're going through any kind of a medical issue, whether you're using pharmaceuticals or not. And I think that the oral care, whether it's teeth or because of thrush or something like that, I think that's very important is the oral care and just being able to maintain proper oral hygiene and finding out if there is some intolerance there or some ulcers or something like that. We have to address that, but that's probably the second hardest thing to overcome is
yeah people don't think about that.
Mouth sores.
That's a great call. And my son going through chemo absolutely had that going on, so cool. Justin, what else what else can we get from Jennifer to help us build this patient-reported outcome hub?
So it'd be great to know where patients are currently sharing information about the nutritional strategies they're using. One of the biggest things has been Facebook groups that are targeted either to specific cancers or to just cancers in general, like groups that are targeted for integrative treatments on cancer. But in your experience, what other locations have you been aware of where people are sharing with others what they're doing?
I think it's just word of mouth. I think the groups are probably the top place that I would agree that there's, and a lot of people can post anonymously because some things they don't want to share, they don't want their name attached to something they're going to say. So word of mouth is really the only other place. It's kind of it's really too quiet. There's not enough noise. There's not enough talk about the nutrition
I like that
for patients. There really isn't. There's not a big resource for that.
It's like we almost need to become advocates for the noise. Make some noise about it, and because it's such a big effect. And really, what it is it's been stymied because of the pharmaceutical companies. I mean, they don't want noise. They want it quiet. They want their way or the highway, man. And if you choose an alternative way to do it, they almost cut you off. They find out your kid's doing something. that
Yep.
they don't like. They just say, you're going to call Child Protective Services.
Yep.
Holy shit, back off, man. That's
And
crazy.
we hear that from patients a lot about, well, that we'll kind of get them on a protocol and things are going great, and their doctor kicks them off of the pain management program if they don't stop the program they're on with us, or this happens pretty regular.
Well, I think it's a common thing with the VA or something like that. If you're on getting any kind of disability check at all, and they drug test you, you're completely off of it. It's like, it's feck off, man. That's the government is fighting against the healthcare, basically. Yeah. And I don't know if anybody listened to any of Joe Biden last night. My God, it's just like our country's so messed up right now, and our healthcare is the absolute number one thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're in bad shape, and we better figure out a better way to treat ourselves, because our healthcare program is collapsing. The insurance industries are collapsing. They're gonna destroy and collapse upon themselves. That is what will happen.
What they're doing is they're eating each other from within. It's like a parasite. You know what I mean? Because they have so many parasites in them. I don't think the government's any different than your body. Nope. They need to strengthen their immune system. And they need to get out they need a detox. They need to cleanse, and they need to kick out some shit. Yeah. You're serious. I agree. So, Justin, a couple more patient-reported outcomes questions.
Yes. So where do patients currently get information about nutrition? It seems like a lot of it is coming from their doctors, and of course, there's huge limits there, because they're just saying eat whatever you can get, as long as you can.
It's bad information. Yeah.
But yeah, what else? What other locations are they getting information from that might be better?
Where would you go besides Google, basically?
Okay, well, don't hate me here, but I will tell you that real people, real patients that are on TikTok telling their story and telling what they're doing, the following that people are getting, I can't even explain it. It's sort of embarrassing to say TikTok, but if you find the right lane in TikTok, it is a very because it's real life, it's real people. I mean, it is. This is what happened to me. This is what I did, and then you can kind of correlate, however you want to. But
that's a fucking great idea, Jennifer. That's a great idea.
It's just real story.
Yeah, and it goes to everybody. It just doesn't go to your followers that see the same bullshit every day.
Nope. If someone were to follow a lot, be someone that wanted to know more information about FICO, then they, if they search that on TikTok, well, for the next 6 months, they're going to have things popping up like crazy. Now, you got to filter through, and you have to have enough common sense and enough be accountable for your own health, not to just take what everybody's saying, because there's a lot of things
We are all about patient-reported outcomes. Yep. So let's keep talking about this. I mean, so what we do, like as you know, is we collect thousands of stories, and we have tens of thousands of data points. And what we do is, if you have one data point that says that somebody ate dog shit and the cancer went away, that story gets thrown out. If the highest amount of surveyed people say the same thing, those are the data points that we share with patients. And then we back it up with empirical evidence that's been studied and it's been processed and analyzed, and then we try to mix it with employee health records. So think about that triage of it's an entourage mentality of all these different. It's all prevention. It's everything, and then so that's a great call. Honestly, TikTok would be a great process, because what we're looking for is somebody that is involved enough, that has sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and great grandparents, and that's kids that are on TikTok, honestly. And if we could get some stuff going, honestly, we need a couple of influencers, right, Jamie? That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
I'm liking it, and I think they allow some crazy shit too.
Yeah, there's very little.
That's also a platform I'm familiar with. So
you can't really.
That's a great idea.
There's some medical terms you can't say, and you can't make a lot of claims. They'll kind of get onto you for that. But there's also ways you can get around terminology.
Absolutely, When we're Cancer Playbook now, that's why we changed the name from FECO Playbook, because Facebook and everybody knows what FECO is.
Right.
Honestly, I think we were part of the cause. We probably educated more people than anybody ever has on it.
You're
and there
right.
we go. We cut off our own, what do they call it? Cut off our own tail in spite of our whatever.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
everybody knows what I mean.
Well, I'm
And if you
fixing to
don't,
do the
back
same
off.
thing. We are about to rebrand into Hawkeye Wellness instead of having three
I love
separates.
it.
We're fixing to kind of rebrand and you know, in the beginning we were only known as a cannabis company because even though we aren't a cannabis company, we help with medical cards. So
Right.
you know, just that, you know, weird. So sometimes it's a little off-putting when someone sees that straight away on the website or something.
Man,
So
you gotta be sensitive these days. And
Yep.
what we
Yep.
were noticing and we're still working on Justin because Justin's a very cannabis guy. He's got a degree in cannabis, but we are not a cannabis company.
Yep.
We are a cancer company. We're
Yep.
a cancer movement. We're trying to prevent cancer ultimately. I mean,
Right.
can it be prevented? Yeah. Prevention means you're reducing the amount of it. It's not like it's ever going to go away. But you know what? There's a good chance you can damn sure make a big hit on it if you do it smart. I mean, and you could do it fast too. I mean, it's not like this is going to take 10 years. I mean, this movement
Hey,
can
Jim,
happen quick.
has any of your analysts or researchers ever looked into the Mennonite or the Amish community and their cancer rates?
Damn, that's
And if
that's
not,
a great.
That's
if
something
not,
to
you
look into.
should.
I'm writing that down.
It's not a
Um,
thing, probably, huh? Because they have great diet, they have great attitude. You know,
They have an anti-parasitic protocol.
really.
Yeah, for their entire congregation, their communities,
You
and
know, we need to
it's
incorporate that into cannabis, and then I'm all over it.
Yeah. Yep.
Anti-parasitic cannabis. Think about that.
Yep.
That's really good, Jennifer. That's
Yeah.
amazing, actually. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So we've had some patients that in the Amish community on the other side of the state from us that have basically been using anti-parasitics forever. They never took it away from human consumption when our government removed it from human consumption. They never took it out of their protocol. And yes, and actually
Back off, government, by the way.
the first license, there was a funny story, but an Amish group that had to grow. They had to come to the OMA and get their license because, and basically they said, well, we've been growing hemp for generations.
Ever.
Now I guess now we can have a license to do it, or we're gonna get in trouble if we don't have a license to do it. So that is something else. They have hemp that is hemp and hemp seeds that are integrated into their daily. I mean, it is
wow.
It is used. They're pregnant women use it. I mean, it's just integrated throughout their entire community. So
their whole, like you said, they don't need to go get medicine because they're healthy. They do it on a daily basis, and that's kind of what it is. Health is something that you just can't just do part-time.
No, you have to achieve it. You have to.
You have to own it. You have to own it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One project I'm working on that's pretty cool is I got a partner over in Germany, and we own some land in Croatia, and we're building an environment kind of like they have in the blue zones.
Yeah.
And what the blue zones do is most of them are in pretty good areas. It's not like they're in Fargo, North Dakota. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a couple around that are surprising, but most of them are in like Sardinia, Italy, or San Diego, California. You know, so you got 365 days a year to be exercising. And what a lot of it is number one, community. That's a huge part of it. And really community is nutrition, and nutrition is community. It really is. I mean, there's nothing better than getting a big group of people together like the Italians do. My dad used to always be in Buffalo. We'd always go, "Where's Dad?" And my mom would go, "Next door. Go over there and get him. He's over there." And I'd go over there and be drinking wine and eating this pasta. And it's just like, no wonder, what the hell, Dad? No wonder I want to eat some pasta. So that's the way it rolled, man. Always an open kitchen, and we're missing that now. You know, we're fast food. That's what we are. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to take almond milk and make ice cream and mix blueberries and strawberries and have probably the best ice cream you can freaking imagine.
Nope.
Yep, it's sad.
Yep.
So I have a rock. A buddy of mine made it for me last week. His name is Luke Humphreys. He's a professional disc golfer, and you can see through it. It's so cool.
That's beautiful.
And it's actually blue. It's blue, and he gave it to me because I was telling him about the blue zone, man. And See that?
Oh,
It's
that
like,
is cool. That is really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Do
It's
you know what kind of
really
mineral
awesome.
that is?
I need to learn. He told me a couple times, and it has 4 different ones in there, like this black stuff around the outs, the black
Maybe
stuff
some
around the
obsidian,
outside,
possibly.
right there. Yeah, black stuff, and then that's clear. That's right there, and then this is all blue, and it's just got a lot of character. And he said, "This is yours," and he worked on it for like 3 days to get it all honed out and stuff. So yeah, I keep something like this around. It's really good for like meditation. I'm trying to meditate more. Take time out of the day to, it doesn't take long. Even my therapist was like, "Hey, take 5 minutes out of the day, just nothing but breathe, just
Yes.
breathe."
Breathing is
And
good.
if,
Breathing is very good. Mhm.
yeah, and if you need to, and if you need to think about anything, think about breathing in, breathing out, nothing else. Don't let anything else enter. And when you get to that, he said, "You won't do 5 minutes," and I did like 3-4 minutes yesterday, and I did it again today. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm checking the clock, and I'm, obviously not 100% on yet, but I'm going to keep going on it. I think it's part of the nutrition challenge. Like I said, is a fun thing. Let's go back to that real quick. We're collecting patient-reported outcome from this nutrition challenge, right? So what it's going to end up doing is helping other people in the future. We don't want to be a cancer. We want our cancer program to grow really fast, and then we want it to go away. We want it to work. If it works properly,
Yep.
it's going to go
Yep.
away.
We don't
And there
want
will be
repeat customers. We don't want repeat customers.
We
Like,
would.
This is one business you don't want to see anyone twice.
That's a damn good point. Yeah, it is really true, Jennifer. We don't want any, and that's kind of like our biofield program that we're doing right now. It treats the root cause. I've never heard that before from a doctor. What they do is they treat cancer, and we're in the cancer business, but cancer is not caused by cancer. It's not like you got cancer. It's a parasite or a virus
Yep.
or a bacteria.
Yep.
And
I wanna
it's hey, what's up, Jamie?
when you said we were trying to, get a whole bunch, get the program real big and then let it, let them, everybody reduction. We want success, right? So I just want to like point out here in our our FECO program for cancer patients here in Oklahoma, that's what we noticed. So we did a big marketing to like get cancer patients, and we had a whole bunch of patients on the program, and then you slowly watch them not need the supply anymore. We were getting positive reports. So we're about at that point where we would have to do like another like big pitch, like, hey, we need some more patients because so many are coming off of the program. So
Yeah.
your theory is what we're
That's
putting in
awesome.
practice.
I'd love to hear that. Hell yeah, it's working. Damn it.
It's
Yeah.
working.
So we're
So
going
I
to
just had to
open
cut
up
in
a
and say
program.
that.
We have an awesome program too. Thanks, Jamie, and also Feck Off. So we have a huge program going in Colorado right now. It's working with it's really a perfect storm. We're working with an extraction company, and they own a dispensary, but the extraction company has 120 partners that are dispensaries, and also we're working with some growers. I'm working with my buddy Chip Baker. Chip was on the show a couple of weeks ago. Thank you, Chip. We need to get Chip back on here. He literally has an extraction facility in Oklahoma City that's top notch, as high level as you can imagine, and we're getting ready to use it as the Whole Health Oncology Institute research department on all different types of ways to make the medicine, and if you can make it better. We don't know what we're right here. We got the growth of this is such a great opportunity, which I like. I like opportunity situations and opportunity costs in this world is because it's been so suppressed, right, and intentionally to keep us from people have been learning, but nobody's sharing, and we're sharing right now. This is what it's all about. It's building. We're building a community of people that are actually super into this. Jennifer knows. We've been talking to a guy over in Poland, Warsaw, Poland. He may even be watching right now. His name is Huff. Silas Huff is amazing individual. He's all in on what we're doing. He loves what we're doing. He gets it. He spends so much time with us. We're building a program. We're making it easier. We're doing cliff notes of how to do what we're doing because it's not a perfect science. It's a law of averages. You just test yourself and it changes. Your body changes from minute to minute, from second to second, let alone day to day. And then you start learning why. You challenge yourself and you go in and check what you're having to eat. And the next day, if you have a bad bowel movement, you got to think about, what did I do different? And it's that simple. You ever?
Or even if
had
your
you-
joints are hurting, what if you have a migraine and your joints are hurting the day, what did I eat yesterday? People don't realize that every single medical issue, if you're not careful, you will eradicate a lot of things by fixing your diet. And
Did you know
not
every time you say joint, you got to take a hit.
Oh.
That's part of Peck Off Fridays. So yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How does diet and nutrition affect your joints? God,
Well, Jim,
damn it.
I'll tell you,
do know
an anti-inflammatory, the food that we eat is inflammatory. The American diet is, standard American diet. I feel like
Gluten.
the
We own
acronym SAD.
gluten.
It's
We
SAD.
freaking own gluten.
SAD. Standard American diet.
Oh God, that's not that's
Yeah.
that's
So that's
not
pretty
funny.
much
God
that in a
dang it.
nutshell. We don't follow the food triangle. Jody and my business partner Jody, her and I have laughingly rebuilt the food triangle. We will launch that one of these days, but
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
it'll be a whole new. In fact, it's a food circle. It's not a food triangle.
Oh, I love great idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
there's
in
no
a triangle, in a pyramid scheme, somebody gets
Yeah.
fucked.
Nope. Yeah, you're
That's
right.
the way it
So
works.
we're
There's a
gonna
winner and a loser.
Yep.
Cycle means that it's a lifestyle
Yes,
instead of
absolutely.
just okay,
Yep.
good. I just climbed the ladder.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yep.
I can just
Mhm.
ate my freaking
Right. And
Cheerios because they said I should eat
food
Cheerios.
pyramid, it tricks us into thinking that one thing is more important than the other.
Yeah. There's no entourage to that at all,
There's a
man. There's no
balance. Have to have a
synchronicity, no yin yang, nothing, man. Yeah, zero.
Yeah.
A bad design.
Very bad. And it's still going strong. That's what's scary. Is it's been 1970 something. I think was
that's like Joe.
when it was-
I think Joe Biden came up with that shit.
he probably
Yeah,
did.
here we
and
are
then
feeding that to our kids, man. Oh my
Yes.
God! Still at this, and talking about let's do this, because I want to try to make the world better, And so I went through and started figuring out what I was good at, and cancer kept popping up. So I'm spending a lot of time on that. But nutrition in schools, oh what? Feck off, man! Who's in charge of that shit? They need to punch that guy in the face.
Yeah.
You know,
the states are and well, actually the federal government is, because schools had complete control over their own menus, and they could hire their own dietitians until Michelle Obama changed all of that. She went to a structured program. It was supposed to be this big health movement of reducing grain and carbs and increasing fruits and vegetables. It failed horribly, and you have I think
soccer.
The statistic is probably higher now, but about 4 years ago, over 60% of kids brought their lunches to school or ate outside the schools. They did not eat the school diet. So that tells me that the 40% that can't financially afford to do that are the ones that are suffering.
Those are, I hate to say it, single parents and that are really struggling with the basic needs of kids. It's a sad thing. It's just like, we can do better. We can definitely do better.
I will tell you that our little, I live in a town of about 350 people. We have a school district. We're a Class B school. We're one of the smallest school districts in the state. We have, and a lot of the schools in this area do this, but they have a contract with local beef sources, local farmers, and they provide all of the beef to the schools. They buy all of their beef from the local.
It just seems like a no freaking brainer.
Oh yeah, and it's local. It's grass fed, grass finished. No antibiotics, no all the things. It's
my God, sustainable.
And Oklahoma is one of the few states that do that. And they have just started kind of a pilot program for that.
And if you're gonna drink milk, drink it from Brahms.
Don't drink milk, Jim.
Don't drink milk. Yeah, don't drink milk. And one of the things about the challenge is we're going in and we're not telling people cut out added sugar at all. We're telling them to reduce it. Start low and start reading the packages. Everybody go grab a package, read it out of your cupboard.
Right. And
you're
one of the
find
challenges
sugar.
I have for people is to read your condiment packages and tell me if you have anything in your cabinet that does not contain Karo syrup or corn syrup. Yeah. Condiment packages, ketchup, ranch, mayonnaise. Now mustard probably is going to be safe.
I love mustard.
Oh yeah, mustard's good. There's nothing in mustard you shouldn't have. So, but condiments are full of sugar, full of syrup, corn syrup, corn byproducts.
So here we go. Luckily, I don't have any shitty ketchup in my refrigerator, but I do have some sriracha. This shit's good.
Okay.
Zero
Zero.
added sugars. A winner. Woo!
Good.
Do more sriracha. A1.
Question.
A1.
For those people,
2 grams of sugar.
for those people who are willing to make their own condiments, what would you recommend as a replacement for sugar?
So there is something called monk fruit that is a really good. It doesn't. It is a great replacement when cooking. You don't get a weird false sugar taste from monk fruit.
But it still does this. It still makes it like the substance.
Yes, it still binds. I will tell you, my daughter made a pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving with monk fruit.
Ooh,
and sugar-free whipped topping. She made her own whipped topping, sugar-free. I'm just telling you, nobody would have known it. She's also done sugar-free cheesecakes, or they're monk fruit sugar. They're not sugar-free. They have a monk fruit sugar, but it is absolutely amazing.
It's not processed.
No process whatsoever. It's all natural. She's done banana nut bread. She's made some zucchini breads. I mean, she's done a lot of things to
even doing it with like real sugar, like pure cane sugar.
Pure cane sugar that's unprocessed is
Lisa makes them. She used to make chocolate pies. She's a great cook, by the way. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, she's awesome, man. And she makes like she'll make meatloaf, which I haven't eaten meatloaf in like 20 years, because it's, you got to cook, right? So, and I do cook, but I don't make meatloaf. I grill and stuff like that. So, and we go eat it with my mom, and she makes a chocolate pie, and she makes it with pure cane sugar. She never made it before, but now she only makes it with that.
Yep.
She's made cherry pies with pure cane sugar. It's amazing. You don't have to use as much.
Too, as a diabetic, because I used to be a severe 3-time-a-day insulin dependent diabetic, and pure cane sugar never elevated my blood sugars. Never.
Wow, there you go. That's good. I love to hear that.
It's expensive and it's not in a lot of things. But now, I guess now, that was 7 to 10 years ago. I mean, we're seeing a whole lot more different types of sugars or sweeteners.
Yeah.
We use a lot of stevia in our drink. The stevia mix as well. I'm sorry.
What about honey?
Oh, honey, we buy it by the big jars.
I love honey. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I got this.
The closer to you that you can get it is going to be the best, because basically the bees that are in the honey, you want it to be in your as close to your area as possible, because that's the pollen they're taking. They're taking pollen from your trees. They're taking pollen from your general area.
So that's like instead of getting going to the doctor and getting a Z-Pack, you can do honey locally.
Absolutely. Honey and garlic.
With allergies.
Yeah, honey and garlic, it will, for sure. And the beekeeper that we buy our honey from is about 30 miles from us, and and it is dandelion honey. There is a difference in where the bees feed, on what they feed on. There, like wildflower honey is lighter and a completely different look than what you see in a store.
Is there any honey weed bees?
No.
We should definitely get some.
There is Nicholas Trainer bees. There is a guy
who actually
my dream is to be a beekeeper.
Oh my God, the cannabis beekeeper. Can you imagine?
Oh yes.
Why do we not get
love
that?
It.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My best friend's
think about it is
too.
Think if you could have Fecco honey, where you could do the honey in your tea and it's Fecco, and it goes in there and helps build your we know it helps build your put you into homeostasis, right? I mean, so also it eliminates all these other things, but you get it through your honey or your sugar or your coffee or your tea.
I buy honey.
We do have that here.
THC. Yeah, in Oklahoma we have infused honey. I have a jar of it in my fridge or in my cabinet. But the honey sticks are amazing. I buy them often at the dispensary, and I'll just like eat one or put it in tea or something like that. But they're amazing.
My buddy,
little low dose pick me up for sure.
My buddy puts mushrooms in tea too. I think I overdid it the first time. Woo! That was fun.
I have a mushroom allergy, a fungus allergy. I do.
Really?
Yeah, I have done mushrooms before. I mean, I've used some.
You got to work on that. Work on that.
Yeah,
I want to experience that, but I want to do it in a safe, controlled environment.
That is best.
It's all about microdosing. That's
Yeah.
the key.
Yes.
It really
It
is. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like you start off really small, literally doing like 0.10,
Yeah.
0.10, and it just what it does is it gives you just a little bit of a vibration. I think it affects your energy in your body.
It does.
We're getting
You
ready
can
to.
you
we're
can
getting,
you can literally do a scan and then someone use mushrooms, redo a scan, and their aura will be completely different.
no shit. I bet it.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I
used to.
I have
I
a
what
question to ask.
what the hell's wrong with that? By the way, yeah.
Can
Go ahead.
food impact your thought process?
Yes.
Like if you're somebody whose thoughts just constantly come and they never slow down and you can't relax, is that something you're eating?
Yes. It could be something you're eating. It could be a parasitic activity that is feeding off of what you're eating. That may not necessarily be the food, but it's the reaction that those little buggers are having to the food. What happens when we have a lot of parasites? They will consume what we're eating. They love
You
all
feed
the
them. You feed them.
Oh
So
yeah,
why
we
don't
feed
we?
them. That's the only way they survive. If you were to fast for 40 days, you wouldn't have parasites.
Let's do a anti-parasitic menu,
Yeah,
right? That'd be
no
awesome
pork.
to add because we're all
No
about
pork.
no pork. Damn it.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well,
I
I
mean,
got
I'm
some
down to
sausage.
try it.
I'll have to.
Yeah, but it definitely does. Oddly, I have a story, but I have a really good friend that she was suffering with severe anxiety, like you were saying. I mean, just wake up in the middle of the night and her mind would start, and it would be just ridiculous. Like, the house is not on fire, just like 100 thoughts, though nothing, whatever she had to do the next day, what she didn't get completed the day before, but it would just keep her up all night. So she went and had some food allergy tests done. And she was severely allergic, not just to sensitivity, but severely allergic to grain. The girl took grain out of her diet, and I'm talking about all grain. She had chips, rice, all the grain. And she did not have another episode like that. Like it stopped immediately. It wasn't, it didn't even take, it was immediately. The grain was literally it was feeding some parasites, which was causing some gas to
That's
build
really
up.
what's going on. It's not like the grain was bad. It's that you have
No.
parasites.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the parasites were eating it, causing a cast off. The cast off was producing a gas. The gas was reacting with the chemical.
Is cast off like feck off?
No, cast off is not good.
Okay, all right. Feck off is good. Cast off is not good.
Is dead, necrotic things.
So yeah, that gosh.
And the feces, So it's basically they're laying their eggs, and when they die, they're just laying there in your gut or wherever they're at.
Shit.
And so
I've done a couple cleanses.
The gas reacts with a chemical, and a chemical in your brain, and it starts causing some imbalances, and it can present itself as migraines. It can present itself as anxiety, depression, paranoia.
Wow. This is great
fog,
info here.
Really brain fog. Anybody that has a very high parasitic activity in their body are like, man, I just can't, like, I'm not.
You could go to 100 doctors and not get this information right here.
Yeah.
Yes,
right?
I was just thinking. I'll give you an example of a patient that I saw recently that had been to 7 different doctors, and I'm going to say it's a young child. I'm not going to give any more information, but she's not a teenager yet. Had spent multiple days in the hospital over a few weeks time, extreme pain, low grade fever, some vomiting, some, just some, just your average, I've got the flu, but it wasn't the flu and it wasn't any other thing. So literally she's missed weeks of school. She's, can't go, but maybe an hour or 2 a day to school. She's a very active, child up until now.
Normally they put them on some kind of pill.
They put them on, she was on steroids, high dose steroids and antibiotics and all kinds of things. Like she was on
nothing to think about what caused it.
No, because they didn't find a cause. The scan immediately showed what it was. And it was a very, very serious bacteria in her kidneys that was causing every single thing, everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she had already been to a urologist. The urologist said, your urine's a mess, but it's not, the cultures aren't growing. So we're going to just put you on a general antibiotic. So having a scan done, Jim, is like, you have the scan done, then you go to the doctor and get it fixed. I mean, we're backwards. You know,
Exactly. Yeah. And no, what we do is we learn everything we learn from commercials.
yes, yeah,
I mean, we're so fortunate to be able to have. Aren't we lucky enough to have feck off pharmaceutical companies advertising every day in front of us? Some lady was
yeah.
complaining that she was watching a show the other night. I mean, it was like The Voice or something like that, which is I've been forced to watch that before. But
You
she's
stop
like,
it. That's a good
holy.
show.
She's like, holy shit! I cannot believe how many pharmaceutical companies are just advertising. And it's what is this? It's the target. It lets you know that that's a target market for
Yeah.
pharmaceuticals. There's a lot of
Yes.
people watching The Voice that do.
Yeah.
It's all relative. Sporting events. That's how there's so many rich athletes. They're making $10 million a year because pharmaceutical companies are advertising on our TV. We cut that out. They get back. Back off, man. What the
Back
hell?
off.
That's some serious bullshit. You know what I mean? And we're just 2 countries in the world that allow it, man. 2 countries. And
Yes.
we're one of them.
What
Yep.
was the other one?
New Zealand, but they have restrictions on it. They've managed it, and it's not just a free for all.
Yeah, they're a way healthier country overall. The other things
Well,
cancel out the pharmaceutical allowance.
they don't have to worry about it. And
Yeah.
they, there is a place and time for pharmaceuticals, but it's a small sliver of what it is right now. It's completely gotten out of control. The problem is money. Who doesn't want money, but who doesn't want to try to make the world better at the same time? If that's a possibility, think about that. It's like
Right. Yep.
not that hard. Feels better. Yeah, your money's going to end up, you're going to die. You're going to have a whole bunch of money, and your kids are going to probably become crack addicts like Joe Biden's kids. And so it's a big money's not great, honestly. Well, unless you're mature and unless you know how to make money, and you don't need to get a bunch of money dropped on you. It's the worst thing in the world, man. If you know how to make money, you're mature enough to deal with money. But if you don't and you get it dropped on you like a big inheritance or something like that, look the fuck out, man. It's going to get ugly. Just from experience. I'm myself, sometimes when I make easy money, I do really stupid shit. So, you got to really be careful with like I said, what you eat. It really does. You go eat crap because they're like, hey, I'm celebrating. I'm going to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken. Holy crap.
Yep.
What you just did was set yourself back a ways.
Yeah, it's not a reward. It's not a reward.
It's not a reward. No. You pay the ultimate price. Yeah, you will. Yeah, it's not as bad as eating a jalapeno, but ultimately, and jalapenos are damn good for you, though.
It would, yes, it would be better to eat a handful of jalapenos.
Yeah. What do you think? So, how do we get this anti-parasite diet? I mean, where do you?
Jim, the biggest, I guess, talking point about an anti-parasitic diet is fasting.
Okay, all right.
It's literally removing anything and everything that could be causing. And when you talk about nutrition, we're just so used to saying, "Oh, well, if I eat fruits and vegetables, I'll be fine." Well, you've got to wash your fruit. The fruit we have in the United States it doesn't necessarily come from the United States. People that we see people a lot that have these, it's called a Chinese liver fluke. Well, they've never been to China. Well, but they eat avocado, they eat, tomato, they eat all these things. And even, and I encourage people, go home and look in your cabinet. Tell me where your honey came from. One lady literally said 7 countries were listed on her honey.
Wow.
A product of these countries.
That's an active bee right there.
Yes. Yeah.
So one bee.
Yeah. So, it just kind of tells me that we don't need to be on a diet. We don't need to be eating food. The most success we can get to rid parasites is going to not feed them, and that's not feed them anything.
And some of the cleanses, I know Huff's got some great cleanses.
Yes, for sure.
Honestly, I had a huge release when I did it, like a mucoid plaque. It looked like freaking fried chicken, man. I mean, if anybody wants to see it, I'll send them a picture. But
I have had a mass that I passed. It's gone. It's not there anymore. Yeah. So I do know one of the 3 masses definitely was relieved from the. I did a cleanse. I did a detox. A lot of anti-parasitics. I did a full round of Ivor and a full round of the Fenbid. So
okay.
And I did see evidence of 2 different tapeworms. So no doubt.
Oh, wow.
But alternating the anti-parasitic is very important also. You can't, like, they get used to it. It's kind of like an antibiotic that builds resistance. That little sucker, if you're giving it the same thing to fight it every time, it's going to figure that out and figure out a way to
work
go around that.
around it like
Yep.
we do. We're normal
Yes.
human nature, right?
Right.
Hey, so
Right.
Jennifer, this has been awesome. We probably want to have you on again here in the next couple months.
Okay.
We've actually blew past time, and we don't do that all the time. This has been a great conversation.
It was
I
worth
could go
it.
on. I could go on forever. Like I said, it's Nutrition Month. We have this awesome nutrition challenge going. It's not, you can start on the last day of the month. It's really for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
for everybody, not just cancer patients.
It's not cancer. Nothing
this
to
is
do with cancer at all.
Prevention is the best way to fight cancer.
Right.
Best way to
And
beat
we all
cancer
need to
is
prevent.
it. Yeah. And preventing cancer is speaking up and doing a lot of other things too. Hey, we appreciate everybody. Cancerplaybook.org. Tell your friends that come join the challenge. Basically, just to help you get off some added sugars. If you do it for a couple days, see how you feel, and maybe you don't like the feeling of healthy, but if you do like it, you can buy into it. If not, hey, go back on it, and there's plenty of cookies around and stuff like that.
Yep, we're just here to give the information. What you do with it is
all you do. And then Justin, appreciate you being here today. Jamie, once again, great job. And Jennifer, we definitely need to talk. We'll get Huff on sometime and talk about our ecosystem that we're putting together of people that want to be in biores business, and basically looking for practitioners that are. We're even talking. We're going to make it so damn easy that a soccer mom can do it. We want this to be able to be in people's houses, because if it's right there, you can do it all the time. You can do it every day. It doesn't hurt you at all. It's like getting getting the results.
The therapy, which we haven't even talked about. That having it in every household is why you would need it.
It's just amazing. Yeah, you can be on top of your shit, and you don't have to go to the doctor every time you have a cold, because that's a virus. You can kill the virus that's causing the cold. Cold is a symptom. We work on treat the root cause. So yeah, good stuff, man. We're rocking and rolling. I'm really excited about the ecosystem that we are putting together. And if anybody's interested, come join what we're doing. It's pretty exciting, and
absolutely,
and it's healthy. It's healthy. So right on. Everybody have a great day.
All right. Well, we will see
guys.
everybody next week. Back off.
Next week,
Share, comment, fall back off.